She never imagined her marriage would come to this. A single photograph, sent from 1,000 miles away, shattering her world in an instant. It was a normal Tuesday night, or so she thought, until her phone buzzed with a message from a friend. A message that would change everything. For years, she and her husband had built a life together in City A, far from the towns where they grew up. He rarely went back home, so when he announced a week-long trip to City B, she didn't think twice. It was supposed to be a simple visit, catching up with old friends, running a few errands. No red flags, no alarms, just a quiet week apart. But on the second day of his trip, her phone lit up. It was her best friend, the one with an eagle eye, the one who never missed a detail. The message was short, but it hit like a physical blow. "I think your husband is here, and he's not alone." Her fingers trembled as she tapped open the image. And there he was, her husband. He was leaning across a restaurant table, his face lit up with a genuine, heartfelt laugh, a laugh she hadn't seen in a long time. And sitting across from him was a woman, a young, pretty woman she had never seen before. They looked so close, so comfortable. Too comfortable. A cold, heavy knot formed in her stomach. Her chest tightened until she could barely breathe. If there was one thing in the world she couldn't tolerate, it was betrayal. And this picture felt like her deepest, darkest fear had just walked into a restaurant and ordered dinner. She zoomed in, her thumbs shaking on the screen. She studied the woman's face, the bright smile, the easy way she held his gaze. This wasn't a business meeting. He hadn't mentioned any meetings. A switch flipped inside her mind, sending her down a dark, unfamiliar path. The hurt quickly morphed into a searing, white-hot anger. Humiliation burned through her veins. And then, a single toxic thought took root. Revenge. That same night, fueled by a cocktail of rage and heartbreak, she did something she never thought she would. She downloaded Tinder. The app's bright flame logo seemed to mock her. It didn't take long. The first man who messaged her, tall, charming, a generic profile that screamed available. She said yes. Yes to dinner. Dinner was a blur. She barely tasted the food. The conversation was just noise. All she could feel was the adrenaline, the wild, reckless pulse of her own fury. Dinner led to something more, a one-night stand. It was quick, meaningless, and impersonal. For a fleeting moment, she felt a surge of power. She felt wanted, desired. She thought she was taking back control, but the relief was temporary. The anger was a fire that needed more fuel. The next night, she was back on the app. She swiped right on another tall, handsome stranger. Another date. Another blur of conversation. Another mistake made in the dark. Another attempt to smother her pain with a moment of misguided satisfaction. And then a third night. Another match. Another stranger. Another night of trying to convince herself that this was justice. By the time her husband's name flashed on her screen at the end of his trip, she felt completely hollow. The fire of her rage had burned out, leaving nothing but cold, empty ashes. She answered, her voice surprisingly steady. He sounded happy, relaxed. He told her about his week, the friends he saw, the old places he revisited. She listened, a silent passenger in a conversation that felt like it was happening to someone else. And then he said something that made her heart stop dead in her chest. "Oh, and I was talking to my sister earlier." His sister. The two words echoed in the sudden silence of her mind. His sister. The one who lived in City B. The one she hadn't seen in years. A wave of ice-cold dread washed over her, so intense it made her dizzy. While he kept talking, she fumbled to open Facebook, her hands clammy. She found his sister's profile. She scrolled through the pictures, and then she saw it. The face. The same face from the restaurant photo, the same bright smile. It wasn't a mistress. It wasn't a secret lover. It was his sister. The world tilted and then collapsed around her. It was like falling in slow motion. The anger, the rage, the righteous fury that had consumed her for days. It had all been a lie. A story she had told herself. She had let her imagination run wild, painting him as a monster, all without asking a single question, without giving him a single chance to explain. When he walked through the door a few days later, he smiled that same easy smile. He pulled her into a long hug, the kind he always gave, warm and safe. He had done nothing wrong. But as she hugged him back, she felt a chasm open up inside her. He was innocent. And she had destroyed something precious, something she could never get back. Now every day is a performance. She hides in the bathroom to cry, muffling her sobs so he won't hear. Her mind is a torture chamber, replaying the truth over and over again. She cheated. She cheated because she thought he was cheating. She betrayed the trust of a good man, a man who had never, ever given her a reason to doubt him. She doesn't know what to do. The options swirl in her head, each one more terrifying than the last. Confess and risk losing everything? The man she loves, the life they've built, the future she always took for granted? Or stay silent and live with this corrosive secret eating away at her soul? She keeps trying to justify it. "It wasn't my fault," she whispers to her reflection. "Anyone would have reacted that way." But she knows it's a lie. Deep down, she knows she let her fear and insecurity drive her to an act of self-destruction. Now every touch feels heavy with guilt. Every shared glance feels like a judgment. She's trapped in her own life, living with a secret big enough to burn it all to the ground. She can't walk away from him, from the home they created. But she can't escape what she's done either. All she wants is for someone to tell her what to do. Someone who won't judge her. Someone who can help her figure out how to carry this impossible weight. But the guilt is hers and hers alone. She made a choice in a moment of panic, and now she has to live with the consequences. No matter what she does, she knows with a devastating certainty that nothing will ever be the same again. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel for more content. We'll see you in the next one.